Hello, my name is Vinquia, and I just want to tell you guys a little bit about my life and where I come from and where God is taking me. I started around about the age of 18. Before getting into drugs, I was very athletic, played all sports, volleyball, basketball, track, and I found myself trying to fit in. I started smoking weed, and I've heard all my life that marijuana was a gateway drug, which it is. Once I started smoking marijuana, then I started dabbling in ecstasy pills, Xanax bars, and that high began to be not enough, so then I went to cocaine. After being on all of those drugs, I started selling drugs, started getting into gangs, and I ended up in prison by the age of 19. Once I went to prison by the age of 19, I was facing about 40 years mandatory. I got out at 19, went back at 21. Then once I got out of prison, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia with my family, and I said, God, I'm gonna get it right, I'm gonna do right, I'm tired of living this life. Well, after I started telling God a lie, and things started to catch up with me. My addiction got worse. I was living with my cousin. He ended up dying on an overdose of cocaine. Once my cousin died, that changed my life dramatically because I knew that it should have been me. I questioned myself, God, why not me? Then the Lord began to have mercy on me, and I ended up back here in Mobile. After I got back to Mobile, I ended up here at the Wings of Life. I came to the Wings of Life with nothing but with the clothes on my back. I burnt all my bridges, all of my friends. I had no more friends, and even some of my family kind of, gave me the cold shoulder, but it was all for my good. Now, after all of that, how I ended up here was a little, I believe it was God ordained. My addiction was so over the top that I called my aunt one day and I was telling her, I said, Auntie, it was getting so bad that I would write my name at the bottom of my shoe because I didn't know if someone would find me dead or not. So I told her, I said, Auntie, I need help. I said, I don't care what you do, please get me help. So she heard about the Wings of Life through a family member, so she did a little research and she actually got some information, and then I left Atlanta and I came here and began to, be a part of the Wings of Life. Now, when I first got here, I was involved in homosexuality since I was about 13, and it was a pastor here which was named Pastor Brandon. He didn't know if I was a boy or a girl. I had really long dreadlocks. I was tattoos all over me, and I used to sag my pants and everything. And, as I began to seek more of God, he began to transform me inside out. I tell people all the time, nobody made me change. It was the love of God that I knew the things that I were doing was not right, and I wanted to be delivered. So as I cried out to God more and more every day, he began to transform me. I began to cut my hair, and, I began to wear dresses and walk in heels, and I knew that it was a God thing. And when my family saw me, they knew that it was God, because me being from 13 to about 25, I never wore a dress in my life. So they knew that it was God that was beginning to transform my life. And it was a great thing to me. I knew that God loved me so much because I never believed in myself that I can be a beautiful woman that God has made me today. And I'm so thankful. I tell people all the time, God has to begin to transform you for what he has for you in the future. And I'm a true believer of that because he has done it for me in my life. So as he began to deliver me more and more, I was able to testify and give people a way and an example, because they would come to me and say, listen, how did you make it out? How did God deliver you? And I tell them all the time, it wasn't a sermon. It wasn't someone telling me about, God can do it. God put me in a position to know that it was real. And I believe, and I wanted other people to believe, because everybody is seeking, they're searching for a way out. And I was grateful. I'm still grateful to this day. And that's why I love the Wings of Life so much, how God brought me to this. I call it the hospital for the broken and for the sick, that he healed me. He delivered me right here in this place. So I'm forever thankful. I'm blessed. So Wings of Life, Pastor Chris, I'm thankful. I love you guys, and may God bless you.